everyone, and welcome back to the Adventures in Collecting YouTube channel, where we take a closer look at the toys we talk about on the show. And today, let's not watch scary movies, let's talk about one. We are taking a look at the brand new NECA Friday the 13th, what is it, part 7, that's right, part 7, the New Blood Jason. So, this is the latest Jason Voorhees in the line of Jason Voorhees figures from NECA. As you can see, gorgeous box art here. Our credits on the bottom to the team that put this figure together. Again, really great box presentation, really great poster art from the film, as well as some great photography on the figure. Inside we get more incredible art of the figure, as well as the nice big window box for you mint on card collectors. You can see all the fun accessories. This movie where Jason basically goes up against a mutant. Practically an X-Men, but this is of course undead Jason, properly zombified. Comes with a bunch of really fun accessories for some of his awesome kills. It would be awesome if in the future we start to get some of the human characters from the films, or at least just some kind of generic 7-inch realistic decoed people for some photography and display. But let's pop Jason here into the Lightbox and let's take a closer look at Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. All right, and here we go. Here we have New Blood Jason, Jason Voorhees out of the package. And this is another slam dunk as far as I'm concerned from NECA, just on the surface. But let's take a look at all the details and everything. So first and foremost, let's take a look at the accessories. The first one you see here is one that he is holding in his hand. It is just a really nice, axe. Great accessory. Again, these are cross-compatible with all of the other Jason figures. So, if you need an extra axe, you've got one. As I always do, I cut out the weapons tray here. It just kind of keeps things nice and tidy. We do get a machete, we get a kitchen knife, and we get a meat hook in there as well, which is really cool. You also get a little handheld scythe. You get some garden tools. So we get I guess this is a hedge trimmer? I'm not entirely sure. But a big old knife on a stick. And then the pièce de résistance, we get the really, really awesome weed whacker hedge trimmer guy. Awesome accessory, really great detail throughout, really great paint job. NECA absolutely crushed it with this one. The blade even rotates. Arguably one of the most iconic Jason kills, definitely the most iconic of the film. He takes out the doctor with the hedge trimmer. And then we also get some additional hands. So he has one open hand on now. You get a similar open hand for the other hand, and then you get another grippy hand. And they do easily swap out. No issues there. My favorite accessory though. So, we'll take off his mask in a second there, but you do get a second screaming head. And if you notice, there's a fun little peg in the back here. That is because you get this awesome effect piece here that plugs into the back. And if you recall the moment in the film when, through telekinesis, his mask is split open there, creates a really, really awesome effect. The mask does kind of go back together if you really wanted it to, but it stays split apart on the head perfectly, recreating that moment from the film. Absolutely fantastic. Onto the actual figure itself. So you do get an additional mask here, which of course comes off, showing us that the beautiful Kane Hodder face underneath slips on really nicely. And I guess the last accessory here is an actual, to me, it feels like an actual metal chain, which is, again, really, really nice. Some really nice deco on there. Again, Jason is a little waterlogged at this point, Zombie Jason. So let's get into the figure itself. The articulation is fantastic. Again, much like newer NECA figures, I did not need to boil or heat anything in order to get these joints moving. I think we can kind of begin to put that behind us with some of their newer figures. But you know, he does have the ability to, of course, to look down and look up. And then he can rotate his head, or he can rock his head side to side, as well as, you know, spinning. Shoulders, we do have our ball jointed shoulders. There is some sculpting here that prevents them from really getting a huge range of motion. You know, it's just the way that the shoulders are sculpted, prevent them kind of from moving out past that point. We do have really nice double jointed elbows, which gets you, you know, way past that. You know, he could practically tap himself on the back there. So those are a little tight only because of the sculpting there. We do have a upper diaphragm here. There's a little bit of movement at the waist from a lower diaphragm, but you're going to get most of it there from the upper. And as you can see, the detail and deco and paint throughout this entire figure is just there's a ton of it. I mean, the varying types of plastic, the soft plastics, you can see his spine and back and ribs and everything through his costume here. It's fantastic. We do have a single jointed knee. We can kick out about that far. And if we rotate, we can kick back pretty far as well. Jason's not doing the splits, but he is going to get a pretty wide stance there. And then moving down into the feet, we do have a little bit of movement back and forth, as well as we have a little bit of a swivel as well. So you can see you can rock and swivel. That way you can get him into some pretty dynamic poses. All in all, this is a really excellent figure. Iconic look for Jason. I mean, this is the first appearance of Kane Hodder as the big guy here. But let's get some comparisons here. So let's see how he looks with some other horror figures. So first and foremost, in my collection, the Jason that kind of rocked this look prior to having this Jason. And again, it's just similar. It's not from the same film, but here is the McFarlane Movie Maniacs from Jason Goes to Hell. As you can see, it's that same kind of like zombified rips everywhere. And this for me was the gold standard for a long time, and he will now be retired as the NECA Jason takes over there. Here he is next to another Jason. So this is the Friday the 13th Part 3 Jason. Prior to being Zombie Jason, this is just regular old dude Jason. And then what's a Jason figure without you know, eventually, right, one of his rivals. So big two. So here he is next to this is the Dream Warriors Freddy Krueger, again from NECA. They look fantastic next to each other, whether you're doing a recreation of the Merkins, the Slash Street Boys, or, you know, you're just building your horror shelf. This is a great addition to your collection. Let's flip it around and let's wrap it up. So, as you guys can see, this is frankly, it's a masterpiece. NECA did a fantastic job with this. What I realized I didn't mention while I was kind of going through the light box here is, really when you think about it, right, Jason Voorhees has 4 main looks. He's got the sack head, Jason, which we see in part 2, and then starting in part 3, we get the kind of human with just the hockey mask, which is kind of probably the most iconic look. And then we have Zombie Jason, so he's a zombie for a few of the movies, and then of course Uber Jason, right, Jason X. So I feel like most people kind of associate him, maybe modern fans associate him as kind of the Zombie Jason here, the Kane Hodder look, and they really nailed it here. I mean, this is absolutely iconic, an iconic look. The detail and deco is fantastic. For the longest time, the best Jason that looked like this was the McFarlane Movie Maniacs, which you saw in the light box, and as you can see, this obviously with the articulation and the additional detail, this this kind of puts that one to bed. So you can find this Jason now, as at the time of the recording of this video, at Target and Walmart. He retails for $30. And he's fantastic. I think there's actually, you can still order him on Big Bad Toy Store as well. But NECA absolutely crushed it. This figure rules, just in time for spooky season. So I now have I now have the Jasons that I want, except for Uber Jason. Come on, NECA. Randy, Blaine, get us Uber Jason, please. As always, make sure you hit that subscribe button down there, so that way you don't miss videos like this where we take deeper dives into the toys that we love. While you're down there, hit that bell icon so that way you get notifications when we post new videos. While you're liking and subscribing to things, make sure you follow us here at AIC_podcast on Instagram and Twitter, where we're constantly posting toy news, toy photography, toy availability, deals, anything that we find will help the toy community. And then, of course, the podcast. So you can find Adventures in Collecting wherever you find podcasts. We're live every Monday with a new episode. Features tons of guests, artists, designers, marketers, everybody from the toy industry. If you don't want to find those things manually, you can hit the link in the description below, which will take you to our website. You can find links to all of the things that I just mentioned. Stick around after the fade for some additional photos of Jason here, and as always, until next time.